Good morning. Welcome to Godly Play, everybody. This week, we're going to learn the first part of the story of Jacob. Jacob has a very long story, so we're going to break it into two parts. You may remember last week we learned about Isaac and his wife, Rebekah. And Isaac, of course, was the son of Sarah and Abraham. So Isaac and Rebekah had two sons, and they were twins. They were born on the same day. Esau and Jacob. Now, even though they were twins and they were born on the same day, they were not at all alike. Esau was much bigger than his brother, and he liked to hunt and he liked to be outside, and he was very hairy. Jacob was smaller than his brother, and he stayed at home and took care of the sheep. And his skin was very smooth. Now, Esau was his father's favorite, and Jacob was his mother's favorite. And Jacob did not think it was fair. Just because Esau was older, and when we're talking older, we're just talking a few minutes older, he would get all of his father's things when his father died. He would get his father's blessing. And Jacob didn't understand that at all. It did not seem right to him. One day, when Isaac was very, very old, he told Esau that he wanted him to go out and catch some wild game and make it into a stew that he really loved. So Esau went out to go hunting. Now Rebekah overheard this conversation, and she went to Jacob and she said, "Why don't you go out and bring in a lamb, and I will take the lamb and I will make a stew for your father, and you can give him that stew and you can get the blessing of the elder son." And Jacob said, "Well, he'll know the difference. We're not alike at all." And his mother said, "His eyesight is very poor. He's getting very old. I don't think he's going to know." So Jacob went out and brought back a lamb, and his mother used the lamb to make a stew. She also put all of Esau's clothes on him and put some fur upon him so that he felt hairy to the touch. And he went in to see his father, and he took the stew. And when his father ate the stew, it was very good. He liked it. And he said, "So strange, this sounds like Jacob, but it feels like Esau." And so he gave him the blessing. And Jacob went out. And of course, Esau comes home with the wild game, makes it into a stew, and takes it into his father. And his father is very upset, and he says, "Oh my goodness, I just had the stew, and I gave you my blessing." And Esau says, "That was not me." And he pretty quickly figured out what was going on. He said, "It was Jacob. Jacob has gotten the blessing. Can't you give me your blessing now, Father?" And Isaac said, "No, I can't. It's been done. It's gone." And Esau was very, very angry. And he actually threatened to kill his brother. He was so angry. So Rebekah immediately told Jacob, Jacob, I think you should probably go visit my family. I want you to go see my brother Laban and go back to my hometown, and perhaps you can find yourself a wife while you're there out of our family. And Jacob decided that was a very good idea, and so he set out upon his journey. And next week, we will learn about where that journey took him. All right, have a good week.
So, today's story reminds me of one of those big words that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. And that word is tactile. Tactile has something to do with the way things feel. And the reason this story reminds me of the word tactile is because of Isaac feeling Esau's arm and what an arm with a lot of hair feels like compared to an arm that's really smooth. So I thought it might be fun to go through my neighborhood and talk about some of the things I see and the way they feel. And the first thing is this wall and this tower behind me. And it feels rough because it's made of stone. And the stones are cut in a rough way so that they're not smooth. And here's another thing that we could feel. These are like the little seed pods from an ornamental grass plant. And they look kind of fluffy and soft, and they're kind of a combination of soft and prickly. Some parts of it are prickly, but some parts of it are kind of soft. So let's see what else we can find. This house has a lot of spider webs and a lot of spiders too. Spider webs are sticky. That's how the spiders stay attached to them, and that's how they catch flies and other insects in their webs. Ooh, these look sharp. Pumpkins are smooth until you cut them open, and when you cut them open, they're slimy. Pine cones are kind of rough, and pine trees are kind of prickly. These pine cones are still pretty small. I may come out here in a month or two and see if they've gotten a lot bigger. And ice cubes feel cold. The very hungry caterpillar is very soft. Maybe you'd like to try this in your house or in your neighborhood and find the things that are rough or smooth or cold or soft. And maybe while you're doing that, you'll think about the story of Jacob and Esau and their father Isaac and what happened in their family. Now, next week, we're going to continue our story of the Old Testament patriarchs and find out about some other adventures that happened to Jacob after he left home. Hope you join us, and hope you're enjoying these stories of the Old Testament patriarchs. Bye for now.